Hey guys, here's a story. So a few months ago I get this in the mail, and hopefully this comes out at least a little bit. It says get $100 after you open a Citibank regular checking account and perform qualifying activities. You guys hopefully can see that. Under numeral 1 it says that you have to open the account by July 31st, 2009, which I did, and you also have to deposit at least $1,000 into the account, which I also did. Now after doing that, number 2 here says that you have to do one of three things. First, set up a direct deposit into the account, which I didn't want to do. You could pay at least two electronic bill payments from your account per month for 3 consecutive months. That's what I ended up doing. And the third option, just in case the other two didn't work for you, is that you could do at least 5 qualifying non-PIN based debit transactions from your account, but I didn't want to do that. So I went with the pay 2 bills per month for 3 months option. So I did that in June 2009, and everything was fine. I did that in July 2009, everything was fine. I did it again in August 2009, but then I also noticed that Citibank was charging me a monthly fee of $11.50. When I asked them about it, they said that it was because I didn't have at least $6,000 in my account. $6,000 turns out to be the monthly minimum balance requirement. So curiously, well, this actually isn't going to come out, but if you read all of this offer that I accepted, $6,000 is actually not mentioned on here at all. You know, it's not mentioned here, it's not mentioned here, and it's definitely not mentioned up here. Matter of fact, the only figure that is mentioned here is the $1,000 figure, where it says you have to deposit at least $1,000 into the account by July 31st, 2009. So that's what the offer said that I accepted. Like, that's basically the offer that I accepted. That's what it said. In the midst of arguing all that with Citibank, they thought it would be a good idea if I had a paper version of all of the terms and conditions and legal papers and stuff that govern my account, and they sent all of this to me. So I spent about 2.5 hours, 2 hours or so reading all of this, and I figured I would share it with you to give you an idea of what Citibank considers to be fair and complete disclosure. So this first category of things is actually, hopefully that comes out, is a table full of percentage yield, like basically APYs, balances, like basically dollar amounts and stuff for a bunch of different types of accounts. Unfortunately, the account that I actually have is not listed on here. So all of this stuff right here and all of this stuff over here is completely irrelevant. The stuff on the back is also relevant because it pertains to certificates of deposit. So this is for California. The second sheet that they sent me is for Nevada. Not quite sure why they did that. I don't actually live in Nevada, but perhaps Citibank thinks that Nevada and California are the same state. So put that aside. The second thing I want to show you is actually amendments to the marketplace addendum. This is a pile of quite a few amendments, addendums, and amendments to addendums that Citibank sent me. I'd like to show you at least some of them. Here's one. It says amendment to the marketplace addendum. The front is in English. The back is in Spanish. Here's another one. Front's in English. Back is in Spanish. Here's one that's actually quite dense. The whole thing is in Spanish. All of the front and all of the back. Which basically means there's an English version, hopefully saying the same thing. I say hopefully because I actually don't speak Spanish. I'm not ethnically Mexican or not ethnically Hispanic or anything like that. So yeah, I don't understand Spanish at all. I'm not quite sure why Citibank would give this to me. Another one, English, Spanish on the back. Yet another one, English, Spanish. And yet another one, English, Spanish. Now I point that out for 2 reasons. Actually, just for the one reason now, because I mentioned the first reason a moment ago. It's a humongous amount of stuff. I mean, it's really, honestly, like, you expect people to read all of this. And on top of that, none of this paperwork right here actually answers the question I'm trying to answer. What is the monthly minimum balance requirement on my account, and where was it disclosed? So put that aside. Next, I'm going to refer to the client manual. Client manual is about 100 pages thick. It splits roughly right in the middle right there. This back half is in Spanish. This front half is in English, so depending on which side you're looking at. This front part is about, I think, 45 pages. The back part, that's Spanish, that's actually about 55 pages. So if you look at it, it's really, really basic. Like this here is how to contact customer service. Here it's, what is a checking account, what is a savings account, how do you open the accounts, how to do electronic banking, how to use an ATM card, how to use an ATM, what else? How to do direct deposits, how to do electronic bill pays, how to use mobile banking, how to do transactions, like how do you order checks, how do you make deposits, how interest is computed. So a lot of stuff that is really basic that doesn't really seem to answer the question again of what the monthly minimum balance was on my account. So this, not real helpful. We'll put that aside. This, the Marketplace Addendum, is a very similar book actually. It's also, this part's in English, this part in the back is in Spanish. Again, this is probably about 60 pages. This part, the Spanish part's about 35. The English part at the beginning is about 25. So this actually looks quite a bit more promising. There are different types of accounts. Like here's one called the Citibank Access account. This is one called Basic Banking. Here's one called Citibank Student Account. Here's another one, Citibank Easy Checking, the Citibank account, Citibank Everything Counts. Here's one called the Citi Gold account, savings and money market accounts. Here's one on market rate accounts, certificates of deposit. Basically, it seems to cover all of the different types of accounts that Citibank offers. Now, I spent about 2 hours or so reading this one booklet by itself, trying to find the regular checking account. See, it says regular. Whoops. Regular checking account that I opened. Now, I was expecting to find that regular, for example, would be a heading like this, and I read through this the first time and I didn't find it, thinking, well, I went away thinking that regular checking is actually not described in this book. Now, thankfully, I managed to read this thing a second time, and I discovered something very curious. Regular checking is actually mentioned in this book 2 times, and each time it's mentioned with different terms. Mentioned the first time here. The first time is on page 11 here, and it's under the heading of Citi Gold account. There's a definition section right here, which the text is not going to come out, but I'll read it to you. It says, a Citi Gold account is any relationship that includes at least one of these components, : regular or Citi Gold interest checking, period, full stop. And if you flip over to page 13, there's a little table here, right here, that says that the monthly minimum balance required to avoid a service fee is $100,000. The monthly fee, if you have less than that, is $25. So $100,000, clearly this is not what I have, even though this account is also called regular interest checking. So thankfully I managed to read this thing some more, and I flipped over to page 5 where it says Citibank account. Now there's a very similar definition section here, and it says a Citibank account is any relationship that includes at least one of these components: regular or interest checking, day-to-day savings or money market accounts. For some reason, Citibank takes all of those different types of accounts and lumps them under the category, or the heading rather, Citibank account. Not sure why they do that. For some reason. Apparently that helps them out. And this is page 5. And if you flip over to page 7, finally you get to a little table that says $6,000 and above, no monthly fee, 0 to $5,999. There is a monthly fee, $12.50 or $11.50 if you make 2 online bill payments per month. So after all of that work and after almost 10 minutes of explaining it to you, that is what Citibank decides to be fair and complete disclosure. Have a nice day. Thanks.